I took a huge risk last year and I had no idea what I was doing, and it ended up being one of the best experiences of my life. So last year I had this burning desire to go traveling long term, and I have always wanted to do this my whole life. Like ever since 2020, when I was 18 years old, I've always wanted to do it. Obvious world events happened in 2020 that couldn't make me go, and others go traveling. I'll let you figure out what that was, pretty easy. And I wasn't able to do that for a while. And while I did go traveling a bit, like in between like 2021, 2023 and all that stuff, they were like very like small trips, like 1 week trips. But I always wanted to do a trip for like months on end. And I really wanted to do like a big backpacking trip around Europe. I had the money, I had the experience, because I've been traveling before, and now I had a job that was holding me back. I was working in a job, I won't say what field it was, but it was not a very nice job. I was constantly alienated by my colleagues, and there was a lot of gossip going around, not just about me, but other colleagues as well. And if you did just one thing wrong, that you were pretty much left out and excluded, and that's what had happened to me. So I decided I'm just gonna book that flight on one random, it was like a Thursday morning. It was so like spontaneous. It was like before work, because I didn't work that much. It was like only part-time. I just spontaneously booked a trip to Europe. I had no idea what I was doing. I was gonna go traveling for 3 months. It was meant to be 6 weeks, but I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna go for a while. And I didn't tell anyone. I kept it a secret for about 2 months, until just one day randomly in my meeting, I was like, no, I'm just gonna say it. And I told my boss, and that was a bad mistake. For the next few weeks, I was just constantly targeted for literally everything. Like, I always had been anyway, but it was like any small thing that I did that was just like minor, that I was just constantly called out for it. And everyone's getting away with these bigger things that were much worse, and here I am being targeted for these small things. And it's like I was the scapegoat. Like the spotlight was shined upon me. And I was like, I got to leave. And all my colleagues, I was just being bullied, I was being picked on, I was being let down, and felt very small. I remember like my last 2 weeks, that's when my workplace, their true colors really showed. And they were not making me feel included anymore, like completely. Like I remember we had this team meeting for the whole day, and barely anyone spoke to me, and like no one wanted to wish me a farewell. Like I remember my last week, like normally when someone leaves, like we always have this farewell party. My bosses would just make him excuses like, oh, we're just too busy, we can't do it. How can you be too busy to hold a farewell party for even just 20 minutes? And everyone else was too busy, but they really weren't. They wanted to watch me fail. They wanted to watch my travel plans fail. They wanted to see my personal brand fall apart. But that's what they want to think. That's fine. I can't control other people's thoughts. So I decided to take that leap, and I went traveling for 3 months. Even though no one wished me a farewell or anything like that. And I was going to leave anyway because it was a very toxic workplace. And I went traveling for 3 months. It was the best experience of my life, and I really enjoyed. Being 23 has been literally the best year ever, seriously. I turned 23 when I was actually traveling as well, when I was in Serbia, and that was a very memorable experience I'll remember for a while now. And yeah, I met so many awesome people while over there. I went traveling all around Europe. It was just amazing. Like, you couldn't do that if you were in a toxic job, obviously. The downfall that I have while traveling is going to happen. No trip's perfect. I just felt so damn happy and just so alive. Just that life had been brought back into me for doing what I was doing, and I had fulfilled one of my biggest goals in life, to go on a long-term trip. I had no idea what I was doing. I was like very, very scared, very, very fearful about what was going to happen, which was normal. And I did it still, and it ended up being one of the best experiences of my life. I've probably said that a million times by now. But sometimes you just gotta take that risk. And if you're in a situation that you don't like, sometimes just going traveling is just the way to go. Not all the time, like, but that's how I felt. Like, I was in a very toxic workplace. I wanted to leave when I go traveling for a while. I always wanted to do it. And I met many other travelers, not just on this trip, but other trips too, that did the exact same thing. They were in very toxic jobs of all sorts of fields, and they went to Europe for a few weeks, 6 weeks, 12 weeks. Some have been going for freaking months because their old job was just too toxic and they didn't want to deal with it. And I highly commend them for that. Mad respect to those people. If there's something you always wanted to do, I'd say go traveling. So that's my experience with taking a risk. It feels scary at first, but once you do it, it just feels so damn rewarding. So take a risk. See you later, everyone. Take care.